Oh, it's over. Thank goodness. Yep, yep. What a season. I'm so glad.
It was one of those seasons.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm very, very happy that the season's over. We don't have to talk about any other games for forever, or at least until next year.
Yeah,
Um,
that's okay. That's okay as well. Okay.
There was actually quite a lot of good out of this week, I thought. I thought it was quite a good round of football. We'll start with the women because they had one of their better weeks, I reckon. Uh, the Raiders win their third game in a row. They've had a pretty good end of the year.
Yeah, good way to finish their fourth start. But yeah.
Sahara Temida continues to be a superstar at halfback. She's such a great player. 3 try assists, the game-winning field goal. Just a great performance from her. She set up the Simpson double. There's just a lot of good for the Raiders right now. Sophie Hollyman was really, really strong. She only had 60 minutes, over 200 meters, 24 tackles with no misses. Very, very good.
Very good. Yeah.
They've got a good team. Hopefully they can ride that momentum.
Well, yeah, they need to build on
next
that.
season.
They need to build on that next year.
Be good for them anyway. The Tigers are close, man. They are so close to being a good team. I don't know what. There's obviously something that's missing. I can't pick what it is, but it's something small.
It's not effort, that's for sure.
Oh no, not at all. They are a team that plays with a lot of heart.
Yeah.
They led with 8 minutes left in this. They'd scored 16 unanswered points up until that point. Very, very good. They just couldn't close it out. I'm really liking what Caitlin Turnbull is bringing at fullback. She shifted from the wing back to fullback halfway through the season. She's brought a lot of really, really good attacking there. Togatuki in the forwards does her usual thing. She's so good.
Yeah.
They've got a lot of good players. I'm very, very interested to see if the Tigers can convert in the next couple of years to being like a top flight team.
Well, they could do. We'll see.
I hope so. The Dragons beat the Warriors in what was a very, very sloppy game of football. 29 errors, 73 missed tackles. It was it was a bad game. I don't think it was. I think it was just bad.
That's just bad.
But the Dragons get up off Tegan Berry because who else at this point? 2 tries, 220 meters, 6 tackle breaks, no errors. She is amazing. She's such a great player.
Considering the number of errors, somebody having none is pretty good.
Oh, yeah, she was awesome. The Warriors completed 55% of this game.
Yeah.
Nowhere near good enough.
No.
I think it comes as a function of the weird reshuffling that happened. Like, they had a center playing at lock. There was a bunch of garbage moving around there, which probably didn't help. Maliepo was good. I thought she was quite strong. But outside that, there's just not much for the Warriors in this game. They're a good team. I think they'll be better for the run, especially next season.
Not Golden Point game, I suppose, makes it fun.
Yeah. Well, the next game was Golden Point.
Oh, sorry.
The 2 Golden Point games, the Raiders won against the Tigers, and now the Sharks beat the Knights by 1, but it would not have happened because the goal kicking in this game was terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Combined, it was 2 from 8. That's not very good. And very uncharacteristic for especially the Sharks goal kicking, which is typically pretty good. It's just weird. For the Sharks, Georgia Hanaway was great. Over 100 meters, 5 offloads, 32 tackles. Very, very strong.
Yeah.
For Newcastle, I thought Lillian White scored a hat trick. She was very, very strong as well. It was a good game. Just a lot of all-around good football in this one, and the Sharks just ended up winning.
Cool.
So that's big for them. It keeps them at least in touch with possibly getting into the top 3.
Mm.
We'll see how they go. The Broncos flogged the Bulldogs to no one's surprise.
Yeah, no, not really.
Big key here, 4-try effort from Tamika Upton. She had her best game of the season so far.
Yeah,
she's good.
Check for another LEM or something.
You have to be up there, but Broncos won 44-0.
44-0.
60% of the ball, 11 line breaks, 40 tackle breaks.
You just come in there.
You can see why they're. Yeah, exactly. The Dogs, they still have good players. Tawanei and Takarana Katoa, both in the forwards. They're just consistent performers every single week. But just the defense overall for the Bulldogs was lacking in this game, which has happened a few times.
It has. They've been beaten it pretty comfortably.
But this is their first year in, right? They'll be better. They'll improve next year. I have no doubt that they could be pushing for a final spot.
I don't know, the whipping boys the whole time, that's for sure, or girls.
Sorry. And then there was the Titans, who beat the Eels fairly convincingly, actually. I was quite impressed with them. Big thing here, Jessica Elliston. She was great, 160 meters, 21 tackles, no misses. Georgia Hale is her usual tackling machine self. Just good for the Titans. Like, they led 20-4 at halftime. They ended up winning, I think, 26-14 or something. It was just good from them.
Yeah.
The Eels, Elsie Albert was kind of quiet in this one.
Yeah, that doesn't help.
So bench forward Riverly Alo stands out here. 34 minutes, 115 meters. No missed tackles, scored a try. She was quite strong.
Yeah, well, that's a strong effort.
Yeah, it was good. And then we move on to possibly the least surprising result of the round, in my opinion.
Broncos probably, but yes.
Well, there is a reason the Roosters are undefeated. Holy crap.
Well, you looked at them on field, we were there, you could see that they would have about 5 to 10 kilos heavier per person, just about.
Watching them play live is something else. They are just so well conditioned.
And just like a whole machine, right?
What a team.
Their defense, the Cowboys couldn't find a way through.
Yeah. I don't think the Cowboys were anything terrible. I don't think they did much wrong. They were just thoroughly outplayed. The Roosters were on another level. Yeah. And look, losing Whitfeld doesn't help. Having a hampered Emma Manselman for most of this game doesn't help.
No.
I don't think they win anyway.
No.
But
it may not be quite so horrible.
Yeah.
There were a couple of tries that were scored down the side there. Whitfield is pretty.
Yeah, they went through that gap where they had, I think, China Palasa sitting out there for a little bit, which just wasn't working. And then with Ralph Strand Smith out there as well, which also didn't work. You need a centre out there.
Yeah. And look, I think the Cowboys will be licking their wounds, but don't give up, guys. You've locked in for the finals for the first time in your history, so that's excellent.
Yeah. Look, it's just like they completed it 83%. They did basically what you want to do, but the Roosters forwards were just far too strong. And I think looking at like especially specific performances from the Cowboys in the forwards, Mackenzie Wheel being held to less than 6 meters a run is pretty indicative.
They did their homework on who were the big threats, and they.
Well, that's the thing. All they need to do is shut down Wheel, and the rest of the forward pack doesn't really have all that much.
Yeah,
and that was my concern. I thought that Tallulah Tillett, China Palata, Ralph Strand Smith, albeit her first game back, and S.A. Barney, they were all pretty underwhelming. They just didn't really bring all that much. Tillett, especially, I thought, in the red zone, had no idea what to do in attack. Bree Chester was good. Fran Goldthorpe was good. They can hold their head fire.
I think overall wasn't horrible.
Look, I'm not mad. No, because I expected this.
We know the competition. It's the Roosters and Brisbane, and then there's a decent sized gap. Unfortunately, it's not getting any less over the years either. It's been them for the last 3 years, basically. Yeah.
Look, I'm not gonna like huff and puff and be mad because the Roosters have a better team.
Yes, and that's just the thing.
Right? And the easiest thing to point out is as soon as Amber Hall came onto the field, that it became a landslide. Because man, what a player! I never really realized you never see a lot of the stuff that happens off the ball unless you're actually at the game. She draws so much attention that she just creates so much space for the people outside her, and that's what led to a lot of the points that ended up happening, especially in the second half.
Yeah,
she was great. Like even if you look at that,
she only ran 65 meters.
Yeah, off 6 runs, it was strong. But yeah, it was 6 runs in half an hour. Scored a try because why not? 5 tackle breaks, 3 offloads. I think nearly every single one of her runs was consequential in some way. Like nearly every single time she took a run, there was a try or something that happened off her.
Looking at the size, I mean, she was twice as big as any of the Cowboys forwards. Maybe S.A. Barney, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Huge. Well, they said she was 108 kilos. I actually think that's under.
I think you need to add a little bit, but she does her job. Man, what a player.
For a person who's built like that, she actually has a pretty good engine.
Oh, yeah. I'm so impressed with her. There's a reason she's a Kiwi international.
Absolutely.
Other one, obviously the big thing out of this for the Roosters, I think, was the Isabel Kelly injury. Yikes.
Look, There was nothing malice. It wasn't any.
It's just bad luck.
Just a player running with their arms up. She got her head in the wrong spot. Like 4 of her front teeth were pushed right behind the rest of them.
I think we thought the trainers were like physically looking for teeth.
Yeah, and I don't know that they.
I don't think they were.
No,
but
apparently, supposedly, as she walked down the tunnel, I guess concussion might have kicked in, and she passed out. So they called the ambulance and everything.
She'll be missing for a while, which is unfortunate because she's such a great player.
They didn't miss a beat though.
No, instead they just moved to the other centre. Jess Sturgis, who had herself a day, nearly 200 metres, scored a double. Just great bomb try. And one of the great bomb tries of all time.
Jess, what the heck was that?
Oh, man. See, that's the thing. This scoreline should have been more in favour of the Roosters. They bombed 2 or 3 tries.
So, I guess you could say maybe kudos to some of the Cowboys' defence and stuff like that for maybe pressuring them into mistakes.
Yeah, look, I think their defence was fine. It's the fact that they had ample opportunity, especially in the first half, to score 1 or 2 tries to try and put some pressure on. They just couldn't find anything.
That's where the Roosters' defence, their defensive structures obviously are very good. They are a well-oiled.
Their outside backs are they have some of the best defensive decision making I've ever seen. It's insane to watch.
The Roosters thoroughly deserve it when they thoroughly deserve to be on top of the table.
Yeah,
they're going to be in the grand final.
They probably going to go through this year without losing a game.
Yeah, they win the grand final as far as I'm
concerned. Oh, right now, no doubt. I think they're even a league better than Brisbane right now. It's just we are watching something truly special with this team.
Absolutely, they are such a good football team, and it's going to take some time for other teams to catch up. It's just the way it is.
You know, just need to coach everybody. What everyone did to Penrith for a few years. Just sign everybody away.
Yeah, that's the only way.
And hope.
Yeah.
But yeah. Now we move on to the men, who had a pretty good round of their own, in my opinion.
Overall.
Except this one. The Dogs beat Penrith pretty much as per programmed, except the Dogs should have won by more.
Oh, yeah. To be fair, they should have won by more.
They were playing the Ron Massey Panthers and only scored 28 points. That's kind of sad.
I guess. Look, you could say that they were trying to play not to get too injured and things like that.
And that didn't work. Jacob Carraz got hurt.
Yeah, what was it, an ankle?
Yeah. Lateral ankle sprain. I think he'll be missing for a little bit. Hopefully he's back in time for like some of the important finals games at least. Because I love watching him.
He's a very, very good player.
But yeah, it was just the Dogs didn't really have much resistance here. 58% of the ball. They completed 81%, which is fine. 10 line breaks, 13 more meters per set. That's what happens.
Yes, when you're playing against under 15.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's just, I still think that having Lockie Galvin be the center of this team is affecting the offense quite a bit. I'm still trying to figure out why. I think they missed Toby Sexton's, consistency.
I think Toby was a good fit for the team, so
absolutely.
Now they've lost him completely out of Super League, but
yeah.
I don't think Galvin's working yet, and this is why I think the Dogs could be one of the first teams to say bye-bye.
I think it's very possible.
Yeah, they get a second bye, but that might be it.
Yeah, nothing that I've seen in the past couple of months has made me think that they're going to be much of a threat come finals.
Looking at now, first, second, and third are locked in, so Melbourne will be playing the Dogs in the first week of the round. The Dogs will go bye-bye into whoever wins out of the bottom 4. And that could be tricky as well.
Really tough.
So it could be Penrith and Brisbane, neither of or the Roosters even, they're going quite well. Yeah. So,
we will see how they go.
Kudawas.
Yeah, they're running out of time to get this going. Yeah, they have one more week before finals.
Like I said, Preston was excellent, as normal.
I love Jacob Preston. He's so good. He decided to remind everybody that he is one of the premier second rowers.
Yeah.
Hat-trick, the tries he scored was amazing. He's so good.
I think you see forward scoring 3 tries, but what?
I know Jacob Preston's great. I love him. Having Josh Curran back looked a lot better. He's great. 45 tackles, played 80 minutes on the edge, which isn't his usual role. So that's good for him. It's just, there's not much to say about this game for the Dogs because they weren't playing against a good team, and there's not much to say about Penrith because they weren't being a good team.
No.
They looked like they had fun. I will say that. They played with effort.
Yeah.
Just they're missing a bit, obviously. Like Witt's got injured in his first ever game, Victor Radley style, which is funny.
Which was absolutely fair too, just saying. There's nothing wrong with it.
I thought he had a good I thought he had a good game though. Like
yeah.
nearly 100 meters, 34 tackles with only one miss. He reminds me a lot of what Zach Hosking does to Canberra.
Yeah.
And, fair enough, because Hosking was also initially, I think, through the Penrith system. I could be wrong about that, but I know he was there for a period of time. It's just a couple of, I think a lot of it was just finding young guys to come through at some point. And I really liked centre David Farley. He was really, really strong. 140 meters, 7 broken tackles, only missed 2. Very, very good. If he gets a run elsewhere, I will be very, very intrigued.
Cowboys sign him.
They don't need centres. We have like 20 of them.
Is he big?
Yeah.
You can play him on the forwards because we lost Marley.
No.
We lost Marley.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. Yeah. But yeah, it's just not much to say here. The Dogs won. Penrith didn't.
Kept them in the top 3.
Yeah, it solidified them in the top 3. Penrith are now stuck in the bottom 2.
Yeah.
Just, not much here.
It's always nice when Penrith are stuck in the bottom 2. If they're stuck in the bottom 2 of the whole competition. Yeah.
Yeah, what was actually a pretty important game. The Warriors played the Eels and lost, which makes the top 4 really interesting now. It cannot be a Warriors game without some manufactured referee.
Manufactured.
It was not. It was a knockoff.
He faces his own line and it bounces off his hand, going in the direction.
Grip.
Thank you.
What a grip!
Thank you.
It was a kick.
Football has grip on it.
It was a kick.
I'm sorry. He didn't have his fingers behind the ball. It hit the tips of the ball. It cannot physically go backwards from that way.
I don't know what physics you're talking about, but it can definitely go backwards from there.
His fingers didn't stay straight; they flexed. That means the ball can't have gone backwards.
That's not necessarily true. But anyway, that's an argument for another time because it actually doesn't matter anymore because it was given as no try. But I think the biggest part of the controversy was the fact that it took 5 minutes for them to determine whether it was a try or not.
Well,
At that point, if it went up as a try, it should have stayed a try. That's how the rules work.
Okay, well, we'll talk about that when we come to the Cowboys game. There's a very similar one that happened there.
For who?
The Nanai one. It took just as long to do the same thing, except that was the correct call. So was this.
Yeah, not necessarily so.
But anyway, the Warriors lost. That's the big thing.
Well, it was a bad thing, but yes.
The
competition.
But,
anyway.
79 other minutes of this game were played. I'd like to talk about that, specifically the knocks from Chance Nickel-Klokstad and Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. Both over 300 metres. Just insane from them.
Yeah, and look, if every player played with that, the Wars would probably be in number 1. Right?
Oh, they'd be undefeated.
Okay.
Man,
Chance needs to be fullback. I don't care.
I'm still so impressed as to how Roger is going at the rate he is.
He's not a young pup anymore.
Holy
300 metres on the wing.
He was my best captaincy. That's why I got 828 fantasy.
You captained Roger?
Yeah.
Damn.
We're going to take a break. That helps and a try.
Yeah, he did very, very well. I'm really liking watching him. I thought Tanner Boyd probably had his best game of the year. He was great.
And that's the thing. Everybody was thinking he was just going to be able to step in and suddenly be the saviour for them. That was never going to be the case.
I think the problem became the first game he came in and played, he was good. And then the next few weeks, he was pretty poor. So hopefully this is the rebound. He was good. The rest of the team wasn't, was the issue. The forwards were not good. Aaron Clark was quiet. I don't think Fish was anything. Taylor was dying.
Lecker wasn't too bad.
I'm concerned about Lecker because he really, really reminds me of what Nanai was when he first came through. I really don't want him to go down that route.
I guess we'll see.
Because he was good. He scored a double. But I think he only ran like 90 meters or something. For a second row, you want a little bit more.
I guess if you're scoring 2 tries, you can live with 90 meters.
I don't know. He concerns me a little bit. The entire Warriors crew concerns me. They don't appear to be playing with the same level of enthusiasm as when Luke Metcalf was in the team. And that makes me think that this fall-off that they're having was going to happen regardless of whether Metcalf got injured or not.
Yeah, maybe not.
Because now it's a team-wide problem and not just a halfback issue.
But if he doesn't get injured, we don't actually know, do we? So I can't really
I
tell.
suppose they remind me a lot of the Bulldogs from last year. That's what this team feels like. So I don't know whether that's going to translate into first round finals exit, but I just don't think they're going to be much of a threat.
What do you think they need a miracle? Brisbane are going to get beaten by the Storm.
You reckon?
Yes. Who are Cronulla playing?
The Dogs, who are probably resting everybody.
Yeah, the Cronulla probably won't because they want to try and get into the top 4.
Oh no, I guess we will see.
It's more likely that Cronulla make the top 4, Brisbane fall out, and the Warriors stay in
I
6.
really don't want Cronulla making the 4. I don't want to watch them for more than I have to.
Anyway, I think there is obviously a way of the Warriors making it. Both Brisbane and Cronulla lose, they're back in the top, and they win against Manly, which is not a laydown.
Yeah.
They can get back in the top 4, but
I don't think it means anything. If you're a team that's going to try and do anything in finals, you need to win games like this, and they failed to. Like they had the majority of the possession, they completed well. They ran 400 more meters and missed 17 less tackles, and they still somehow lost.
Yeah, well, once again, I think that is Metcalf probably gets them over the line.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe they might miss his running game in the halves quite a bit because Tanner Boyd just doesn't have that.
No. And which is funny because he's actually quite solidly built young fellow.
Yeah, because he's a hooker.
Yeah. Right, here we go. Good luck to the Warriors. I hope they can get back on the winning circle, but we'll see.
I don't know. Parramatta continue to solely exist to piss off other people.
Yeah, I know.
I'm so sick and tired of them.
Yeah.
Most petty franchise in the league.
Yes, we can't make it, but we're going to make sure everybody else can't make it either.
Yeah, exactly. Mitchell Moses is great. He's normal, just Mitch Moses. Jack Williams has really turned it on the past couple of months. Really liking watching him.
Probably it might coincide with,
Jermaine Hopgood finally gets decent minutes and the team starts playing well. How weird is that, Jason?
I mean, he went over the tackles, but he didn't run much.
Yeah, because he made 60 tackles. He's like Cam McInnes. That's just what he is. He's a solid player. And obviously Josh Adokar playing his 200th. Great moment with the
107 years.
So there's a pickup from
the in-goal area, yeah.
That's just good Josh Adokar stuff there.
Well,
Parramatta's 9th win of the year. It's weird.
So the best they can do is 10, which is still 2 away from...
Which will chuck them into 11th, I think.
Yeah.
So, off the back of how poor they were to begin this year, I would call this season a C for them.
C- probably.
Pass mark.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. That's that one. Warriors lose. Bad for them. Parramatta win, which is not good for a few other things.
Parramatta, but yeah.
Good for a few other things. This was also interesting for a lot of other teams.
Yeah.
Melbourne played the Roosters and conceded 40 points in one half.
Didn't care.
What? This game was weird, man.
I think they cared. Here's the deal. They were resting bunches of people, obviously. Yeah. Including, some of the big players that they probably will not be resting.
There was Katoa King. Who else was there? I don't know. Clearly no one of note. So I don't know if that fully...
But apparently Craig Bellamy called them embarrassing.
Well, it was. That second half was embarrassing.
Yeah.
Second half stats. Here's the thing. Melbourne had 29% of the ball, 25% of the field position, and completed at 50%.
Yeah,
that's not Melbourne.
Yeah, but what that means is that who they're playing this week better be scared because that's 50 on them.
Yeah, maybe. I guess we will see. I think
and it'll be funny.
Because Brisbane,
man.
Yeah, I'm not amazingly concerned. I mean, they're in the top 2. They're never going to get first, so why try and injure yourself?
Look, I would have no qualms with them losing this game because the Roosters are in a run of red-hot form. They were resting people in this game. That's fine. But the way they lost is very un-Melbourne.
And that's why I think Bellamy calls it embarrassing. I mean, yeah, it was always a danger game when they're resting a few players and whatever. And like you say, the Roosters are in a pretty rare vein of form. With Mark Nwanga-Nutawazi scoring 4 tries.
What a player. Man, he's so good to watch. He's now the top try scorer.
Yeah, I know.
Wow. Kind of nowhere. He's just exploded.
And look, the Roosters, I think, this was all the teams in the top 8, they're the ones in the best form at the moment.
By a mile.
So, obviously the Raiders are still winning, so...
Yeah.
The Roosters
are playing the best.
Oh, absolutely.
Man, yeah, this was big for them because it kept them that win ahead of Manly and the Finns beneath them.
Yeah.
That was the big thing here.
So, yeah, those teams are probably in trouble now.
Yeah.
But,
Like you said, Marky Mark was great. He also ran 160 metres to go with his 4 tries.
It helps when you're scoring 4 tries.
James Tedesco looks back in decent form now. He's out of his third form slump of the year.
Well, you're only in that for about 2 weeks or something.
True. And Hugo Savala continues to prove why he is a mainstay in this team. He is great. What a good find. Look, they scored 40 against Melbourne without Sam Walker. That is impressive.
But I don't think they lose much by putting Sandon Smith in this.
I don't think they do either.
He's not the worst player on the planet. So
They did very well.
sorry.
Keep it up, Roosters.
I think you're going to.
They like the
waves.
waves.
I think you're going to make some waves in the. Not going thanks to one player, probably.
Yeah.
I think you're going to make some waves in the top 8 in the final series.
This final series is going to be so much fun. The Raiders played the Tigers and are officially the minor premiers.
Well done, the team from Canberra.
Yeah, what a season.
It's been 4 games only. Only 4 games they've lost.
Lost 4 games.
That is crazy good.
From seeing a lot of people in the preseason, like every NRL old head was thinking this team's going to win the spoon. I didn't think they would be that bad, but I didn't think it'd be this.
I mean, Ricky Stewart should get coach of the year by some distance.
If he doesn't, it's a travesty. Man, this game perfectly encapsulated why the Raiders are where they are.
I mean, the only other person would have been is if Christian Wolf could have got his Dolphins up into the finals, maybe, or a first-year coach.
Or maybe if the Warriors didn't fall off the way.
Yeah. Well, that's obviously a thing of all the Thoraldo.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, this game was just textbook 2025 Raiders. Their forwards so strong.
Yeah.
And then Jamal Foggy, his solid self, and Ethan Strange continues to be probably the form 5'8". It's just everything you want to see.
They are, of any of the teams that can take Melbourne out, maybe it is Canberra.
Maybe it is.
Because I don't see anybody. Melbourne on their night can beat everybody in this competition.
Yes,
comfortably.
I would also say that about the Roosters.
Yes, at the moment the Roosters could definitely do that. When they're on, they're on.
Yeah, the Raiders are they've been so consistent.
Yeah, they haven't been flashy. I don't think they've won by 50s or anything like that.
They put 50 on the Eels once.
Well, that's fine. The Eels should never take games to that hours.
So yeah, I thought that Hudson Young, especially, we talked about the forwards, I thought he was stellar in this game. He's so good. But, they were all good. Papali, Itapani, Horsburgh is great.
Yeah,
Dunning has been awesome.
Yeah.
What a player. But yeah, it's just...
I like Mariota. I think Mariota's been excellent for them in the past
good
weeks as well.
And the good thing I like is, everything that everyone's talked about this year with KO Weeks is how flashy and speedy he is. He just had a very, very solid game. Which is completely fine. And that's what I like to see. He has that ability to just go back to being somewhat
a little bit,
let the rest of his team do it.
Somebody else in a different team might think they'd have to do something like that at some point.
No, it's wrong.
Yes.
Not wrong.
Anyway. But yeah, it's just clinical. 54% of the ball, 77% completions. You just starve the opponent of the ball and let them make mistakes. Frustrate them. That's what the Raiders are.
And Ricky has got them hung.
He knows what he's doing there.
Yeah, well done. Good luck. I mean,
the Tigers were bad. They just got outplayed.
Yeah.
Just by a better team.
I mean, Canberra, the top team for a reason.
Yeah, exactly.
And the Tigers are in 12th or whatever for a reason as well.
I feel bad for the Tigers. They've had a pretty good back half of this year.
Overall, yeah. I think their year was better than last year.
They're not getting the spoon. This year is a huge success for the Tigers. Pearl May.
Well,
what do you say?
Without him, they're probably further down on the flipping list.
Yeah, without him, they have no forwards, right? He showed out 77 minutes, 120 metres, 59 tackles, with only 1 miss.
Yes, I guess that's why his metres were down here. From tackling.
And they didn't have the ball.
Canberra had the ball mostly, yeah.
And every single one of the fine new bros is great.
Yeah.
Hopefully they can keep
it. He's been really good for them. Right? That main football gene is quite impressive.
Tyrone was a good player. Yeah. Good. It's just more of the same from what the Tigers have been. I really like it though.
I think
really like what
I think next year they could be final four.
I think they could be I think they could probably finish in the top 6 next year.
I guess we'll see that. I mean, who do they get? They get Kaifi's Paul.
They're bringing Cowboys. They got. They had one other guy coming in, and I don't remember who it was now. That's sad.
But anyway, there's one improvement on last year, and the only way is still up.
Hands up.
Yes, so once again, congratulations to the Raiders for getting JJ Gilton and Shield. Well done.
Well done.
Just keep it going.
Yes. Another very important game. The Dragons ran into the Seagulls at Jubilee Stadium and got trounced. Manly keep their slim finals hopes alive.
They don't like football finals. I'm sorry.
I know they are, but it is possible. They need to
win by 100.
Well, they need to win, and the Roosters need to lose by like a combined 80 points. It's happening.
No.
It'd be funny if it did.
Yeah.
The Dragons concern me because now there's a bunch of rumours coming out about some unrest within the player group. Maybe that's a Flanagan thing.
It could be.
He's very abrasive.
Yeah.
I guess we'll see how that goes. But they were just not good here. Not good defensively. Their attack was okay.
Yeah.
They've got a couple of good attacking players. I really like this Lycan King Tony guy.
Yeah, they've got to work with him, right? They can't just keep dropping him for somebody else. And look, they'll get Valentine Holmes back next year and things like that. So
even if they can avoid like the seemingly weekly injury to one of their forwards next year, they'll be okay.
Yeah. Look, the Saints are always fair to middling, and they're fair to middling again.
Yeah.
So
who wasn't fair to middling in this game, though, was Christian Tuipulotu.
Yeah.
He was great against his former club.
I actually like him.
He scored a try, 270 metres. Very, very good performance. Damien Cook was great.
I like Jaden Sewer. I think
Jaden Sewer coming back
I
from injury.
rate him quite a bit.
Queensland origin hero Jaden Sewer.
He played one game, I think.
The qualm I have with what the Dragons did with this game is I wish they gave Loco Pacific Tonga more minutes. Especially because of how old that forward pack is and how many injuries they are seemingly getting.
Put somebody who's got size.
He's a massive kid.
He's a huge human being.
Yeah, there's just not much here for the Dragons. Unfortunately, it's on the next year for them now.
Yeah,
Manly were more desperate for the win, as they should have been.
Yes, they had more to play for.
Yeah,
and that's what you found this week, right?
And they had Sifley in it as well, and they still put up 40 points. Daly Cherry Evans, man. He was his old self here, scored a try, set up 5. That is what you like to see.
I did like something I saw about Daly. He got asked a question after a training session or whatever. And he goes, and he was asked, are you getting ready for your move to the Roosters next year? He said, thank you very much, see you later.
That's the correct way to handle that. Well done, Daly. But yeah, he was great in this game. Very, very experienced. Corey Waddell, he was good, scored a double, 160 metres. Dr. Boyovich was strong. He had 280 meters.
Yeah, well, he's back to where he needs to be, I think.
Yeah.
So
it's just a little bit late for them now, I think.
I don't think they make it. Look, and look, they put in a bit of an effort in the last bit. I actually tipped them to get into the top 4. I think with less injuries, that could have been a thing, but
possibly
that happens.
I think I had them in wherever they finished last year. 5th, 6th.
Sixth, sorry.
No,
they finished 7th. Yeah.
Oh, no, yeah, that's right.
They finished 5th.
Yeah. That's right. But yeah, it's just a necessary win for the Seagulls. The Dragons are bad. That's about it.
Yeah.
Not much here. A lot more here because I'm mad. Cowboys lose to the Broncos. Season's over. Thank goodness. We're done.
The Broncos were not anything to write.
Look, they should have won by a lot more. But just like...
Actually, based on how they passed, they should have won by a lot more. They should have lost. At least the Cowboys scored off legitimate passes. No, that wasn't. I looked at it. It was flat. It was flat. You're telling me.
I will still forever say that the Billy Walters pass forward was not forward.
He passed it on the line. The guy caught it in front of the line, and Billy Walters had no momentum. He was stopped. You can't use physics in that one. You passed it before the line, and the guy caught it about 3/4 of a metre over the line. That's forward. It's forward, especially when all you've done is stop here and go. No. If you're running forward, that's fine. That sort of thing you can take. He wasn't running forward.
I hate this argument because people always do that sort of thing under the assumption that people are passing from like their centre of mass, which they're not because you pass using your hands, which are in front of you.
Yeah, but even that, he passed from the line and he caught it in front of the line, so it's still forward.
I don't know. I feel like
the other one was definitely.
Oh yeah, the one for the Billy Dolphins try
Yeah.
was terrible.
It was like 3 meters forward over a distance of 2 meters.
Yeah, look. Yes,
That's not physics.
However, I still don't think the Cowboys deserve to win this game in the slightest.
Well, I don't think the Broncos. Maybe it should have been a draw
No,
because the Broncos weren't great either.
I would have thrown up if it was a draw.
The Broncos weren't really that good.
Would you have done obviously if it was a draw?
There were possibly 2 players that made the difference between the 2 teams. One of those was Payne Haas and Katoni Staggs.
You just don't like Reece Walsh.
He made 5 errors, which is
Unfortunately, everything else the Broncos did went through him.
He never tried to for the Cowboys.
Yes, that was a bad shot.
Everybody likes drinking toilet water.
Yeah,
We'll get to that.
He's an idiot. Anyway,
That was funny.
it wasn't funny.
I thought Reece Walsh was great here. Yes, the 5 errors are true, but he is the gunslinger. That is what he does.
He also threw a forward pass. No, he caught a forward pass for a try. That's okay because we're playing the Denver Broncos, not the Brisbane Broncos.
But no, yeah, Reece Walsh scored a try, kicked 5 of 7, over 200 meters, set up 5 line breaks and 2 tries, broke 10 tackles, forced to drop out. He did so much good.
You're going to mention the 5 errors?
I just mentioned the 5
He
errors.
made 5. And look, look, most of the game he was okay, but those 5 errors are pretty glaring.
Well, those 5 errors happened in the space of about 15 minutes.
Yeah.
That's the issue, is it was all condensed.
It was like, I remember seeing a YouTube clip of it, like, after match, says you're going to come it back a little bit, pull it back in.
Yeah, no, that's it. Perfect. But no, I thought he was good. You brought up Payne Haas. He was great. Scored a try. It's Payne Haas. He ran into a bunch of back forwards. He ran 11 times for 150 meters.
Well, one of those was 25 by itself.
And the Mariner Karapani win combo is awesome.
I think Karapani especially.
He is so good.
I will, however, give Drinkwater props because
His defense
was really good. Like twice, they probably should have scored on without any other plays happening, and Drinkwater actually stopped that from happening.
Yeah, so there were a couple of times he did that.
Yeah.
For the Broncos, their destiny is in their hands now. It's win and into the top 4 next week. From there, I don't know. I do like this squad. There's a lot to like here. I guess we will see.
I'm just saying, if they play like this against the Melbourne Storm, Melbourne will put 40 on them. That won't be pretty.
But they could also have scored 36.
Their defense wasn't good. They let 30 points in against the Cowboys. And to be fair, showed some, at least a little bit of flair and attack for a change.
There was progress. They played 15 minutes of good football instead of 10. That's progress given the 2026.
They were in front at one point.
Yeah.
18-12 up.
Yeah, and they conceded 2 tries.
Actually, and then
5 minutes of the first half.
Then they were 24-22 up as well at one point as well. And then they had a forward pass against them, which scored a try and stuff. So, and look, hopefully they can learn from it. I thought they were good. I thought Drinkwater had a pretty good game. I thought Tamalolo overall had a pretty good game.
Good.
I still don't like his defense. I really, really struggle with saying that Tamalolo is a good forward when he's only good one way.
Yeah.
I thought it was Adam Fanua Blake, but like slightly worse.
I know he was slightly worse. He's actually a very good ball playing forward. This is what he needs to develop. I think
No, he was good. John Bateman. He was good.
except he threw the silly offload that led to a try.
Yes, this is true. But he also did the crab run that led up to the
Final try for the Cowboys, which was Burns. Yes.
yeah, so good job. He also gave one of the all-time sledges to Billy Walters, which is hilarious.
What was that? I don't
I don't think I can say it on here.
Okay.
I really don't think
Is there a G-rated version of it?
not really.
Okay, well, you'll have to let me know after.
Yeah, it was funny. But he was their best player, and that's pretty indicative of how the game went, I think.
I think, and look, I actually think if Cohen Hess plays, the Cowboys may even win this game because that's another forward who actually has mobility
Yeah.
and actually has a bit of mongrel in him, which is what, apart from maybe John Bateman,
They don't really have.
they'll get that next year from one player at least.
Yeah,
He'll put a bit of mongrel in,
we'll see.
which to a point is okay, as long as he can rein it mostly next year. But the other thing is, we lost two major players from the team at the end of the game. Jordan McLean
Oh, yes.
has retired.
What a sad way to go out.
I thought he still had a relatively strong game
I thought
considering.
he was fine.
And Reece Robson scored his normal dummy half try.
He was terrible. Reece Robson was garbage in this game.
He did score a
He went
try.
off with about 30 minutes left and then didn't come back. I'm certain he just told Todd Payton, nah, screw this, I'm out, goodbye.
The Cowboys probably said, well, see you later.
I'm certain that's what happened. I'm certain.
Lawton actually did okay when he came on too, which is kind of sad.
Stupid.
Look, there was that one try that was disallowed, and yes, it ended up being the correct call. It would have been such a good try though if he could have somehow got his hand behind the ball and not in front of it. That would have been a doozy of a try.
I refuse to give Jeremiah any
I know
He's
don't
bad.
like him, but
He's a bad
he
footballer.
still has some pretty impressive moments. His offload led to a Clifford try, so
Hit Rhys Walsh.
in the fight,
It was a bad pass that happened to work out well.
Oh, the ball boy had like 5 layers of
I'm also certain the pass was actually forward.
it went backwards. You can see passes like this. There's no physical way it goes forward.
Yeah.
Oh, you argue the other. You can't argue both ways.
Look, I bring up a physical demonstration right now, but I don't think we really have time to do that.
But it was fine. We saw it replays. That part was fine. And then, of course, I guess that would be classed as an error from Walsh too.
Possibly, I don't know how they did.
Well,
that counts as one of
I
his
thought it
errors.
just hit him in the guts and it went off.
If that counts as one of his errors, I wouldn't count that as.
It probably doesn't, to be fair.
Yeah.
And Clifford was Johnny on the spot and scored the try, which was nice. I'm glad Clifford's. I hope he can be the 5'8" running forward from here. Although there are rumblings about another player making their way up.
Please don't sign Sandon Smith. If the Cowboys sign Sandon Smith, I'm going to lose it. You don't need him. We need forwards.
Supposedly, Cowboys have their nose in front of the Knights for Sandon Smith.
Well, that's just because the Knights are somehow a worse situation than the Cowboys are. That's not an indictment of the Cowboys.
I know he's saying it's a sad way for Macker to go out, but
he deserves so much better.
Look, he was a good servant for the Cowboys, and it looks like he's bought a house up here and his family love it up here. So it doesn't look like he's going here. That's what happens to a lot of players who retire up here. They just stay.
Yeah.
Brent Tate, he's another one. He's staying.
Still hanging around, but yeah.
So,
just look, the thing in rugby league for years and years is you play your final game how you played the whole season. And this game with showing some potential with 10, 15 minutes of good football, stupid forward rotations and bad defense. That sounds right to me.
But then it wasn't the Broncos like that because they haven't had their defense is not usually that bad. It's not usually that risky.
That is true. But this isn't the Broncos' final game.
No, that's not. But I would suggest that I don't think Madge would be amazingly impressed with the fact that they let in 30 points.
I don't think he would be.
30, especially against the Cowboys who are like 14th.
Yes.
So
I guess the one
you can understand it maybe against Penrith or Melbourne or something.
Well, look, the one thing you can say about the Cowboys for the past few years is that their attack is good.
Yeah, it all goes through two players.
Yeah.
They need to be able to fix
And even
that.
Tom Dean in the past few weeks has been poor.
I think he was fine on the weekend. His defence was pretty good.
5 tackles.
I know, but he made some pretty crucial
He
ones.
did make some very good tackles.
He's right on the line with massive human beings running at him. So you got to remember
I'm tired of him being the only.
more than me.
I'm tired of him being the only player that gives a crap.
And I think Drinkwater actually gave a crap in this game too. He actually played really
That
well.
now, but it doesn't matter.
Tamalolo, I think, did for
Offensively.
the majority of the game. 200 metres in a game is good when you only play 50 minutes.
That's what I'm saying. His running is fine, but the big thing I can say, you watch his effort on the Payne Haas.
It wasn't bad. But to be fair,
That's always been the
I
number.
think Payne Haas is actually faster than Tamalolo.
He is.
So,
But it's like I would at least like to see Tamalolo making an effort to get back in the line and not just walking.
to be fair, though, I mean, he ran over 2 other forwards as well. So, it didn't really.
Yeah, look, Ruben Cotter didn't stand a chance.
Tamalolo might have at least slowed him down a little bit, being about the same size. But yeah.
Just I don't think the Cowboys, the Broncos win, and
At least they had Mad Monday earlier than everybody else.
they'll find it playing goal.
Probably.
Yeah, it was just
We'll go on to Bali.
Sunday. The Sharks played the Knights, and it got hairy there for a second. It started pretty badly, and then Cronulla decided, no, we're actually
We're going to play some football, and they won by 34,
24. I'm not scared of Cronulla at all.
Not if they play like that.
Well, that's how they've been playing the whole year.
But they're still somehow like one win outside the top 4. Or points for and against outside the top 4. That's all it is. They're on the same wins as the Broncos. So
Stupid, isn't it? So stupid.
let's hope they lose next week, and I hope the Broncos lose next week.
Yeah, look,
We'll talk about that soon.
look, I think at the start of the game they're playing with less energy than Newcastle were, and I think that might come as a function of not having Cam McInnes because he brings that sort of like tenacity, very like Tom Dearden style for what he does for the Cowboys. But eventually they got into gear and scored 40 points, so that's good for them. I thought Cole Hoon, his first game starting a lock in place of Cam McInnes, it's fine.
Yeah,
I thought he was fine. He didn't do anything
I
terrible.
love his name. It's spelled like Cole Quo-Hoon, but
Yeah,
it's Cole
it's
Hoon.
funny, isn't it? But I think easy best player on the park for Cronulla was Ronaldo Militalo. Scored a hat trick over 200 meters. One of the tries of the year.
Yeah,
I know you hate the guy.
look, a little bit of banter is fine, but I think when he generally goes too far with it.
Like Reed Marnie.
A little worse, I think. Reed doesn't really have a lot to say.
Yes, he's
He's
never
not
playing.
playing. Although I was reading, it was interesting. I was reading that some other football fellow reckons that maybe he should be starting again.
I think he should.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
anyway, but back to this one, and there was not a heck of a lot to say. To be fair,
Not really. It was,
Sharks were better.
this is how it should have gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, we could have been by more.
It probably should have been by more.
I thought Bradman Best was good
He's always good.
for the Knights. I thought he was excellent. Kai Pearce was even not too bad this week.
I thought he had one of his worst games.
I mean, he still tries hard, but he's on the Knights. Remember,
His defense in the first half was really cool because even if you look at his games for most of the year, the one thing you can say is he defends well. He missed 6 tackles in this game, which is just unacceptable.
that's actually pretty high. I didn't realise he was that high on him.
Most of them were in the first half. I think he ended up on 5 missed tackles in the first half. So the second half was better.
Yeah.
But even he didn't offload the ball at all, which is what his biggest strength is with his stupid long arms. It's just not much here. The halves are all terrible.
They've got nothing in the halves.
Jack Cogger kicked a really good 40-20,
Yeah, which meant nothing in the
but nothing else.
Yeah.
Phoenix Crossland is bad. He ran 3 times for no meters from 5'8".
So I guess that went forward and then went backwards.
Exactly. And then you had, what's his face, Arthur.
Why does he even play?
No idea.
Is it his name?
Maybe.
They think maybe, his dad was a coach. Maybe he's a good player.
Billy Walters again.
Yes, Billy is at least.
But yeah,
some skill.
look, Leo Thompson was good. I'll give him that.
He always tries.
Great audition for playing for the Dogs next year.
Yeah, just saying.
Also, how Jaden Brayley isn't the starting hooker whenever he's healthy is nuts to me. He's so good.
Well, look at how good his brother's going. I mean, the apple doesn't. I mean, I didn't say that he's not the dad, but the DNA is there.
He's so good.
Yeah,
He's such a great player.
yeah, that's you.
It depends on how tall the tree is.
Yes.
And if it's on a hill.
Anyway, that's that. Well done, Sharks.
Sharks win. Newcastle are a gigantic blob. They still haven't technically been out of the race for the spoon yet. But, it didn't help that the Finns ended up beating the Titans here.
Yeah, which they probably should have won by more, to be fair.
Probably.
The Titans just started throwing the ball around
all the time.
Yeah, I know.
Look, I'm not surprised with how this game went. This was always going to be a very high-scoring game.
Yeah,
I hit the score prediction on the head. I wish that there was a way I could do that. I'd be a millionaire. But I think the Dolphins were just slightly too classy in the end.
And look, I think the defense is lacking still, though. Of course, they let in their own amount of large points.
Well, I think that comes as a function of every forward being hurt.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it doesn't help.
Yeah.
But guess who they get back next week?
Maybe. We'll see.
But if there's still a chance of actually...
Yeah. The big thing for the Dolphins this game, the spine. Every player was firing on all cylinders. Trey Fuller is awesome. Needs to be the fullback next year.
He was excellent.
Isaiah Katoa did his normal thing of setting up a try and kicking for over 500 meters. He was great. Jeremy Marshall-King is still a premier dummy half. He's so good. But Cody Nikorima, I thought, was my man of the match here. He was great.
So he's so unpredictable as what he did.
Right. He's one of my favourite players to watch.
Yeah, he's very... Yeah, I like to watch him when he trips over the signage and stuff. That's kind of funny too.
Cameron Smith did that as well.
I might want to put that one up in there.
Yeah, that's even more embarrassing.
I don't know. Cody was just running. No.
Yes.
That was kind of
But yeah,
funny.
Dolphins had the majority of the ball, completed 80%, 8 line breaks. They had 5 less errors than the Titans did. They did what they had to do to keep their season alive.
Yeah.
Nothing.
It would have helped a little more if they'd won by a little bit more, which would put less pressure on them next week. But anyway.
But all they needed to do was win.
Yeah.
That's all it
So
is.
they're now
They're waiting for Friday.
out of the two teams that can still, I guess, theoretically make it.
They're in
They're in the best shape. They only have to. There only has to be a change of about 20 odd points. So instead of like 80, 90 or whatever it is.
The Titans, I thought, were good. They're just slightly short.
Yeah.
I thought Tino was great. His usual, awesome.
And we still don't know where he's going. I mean,
I think he'll hang around. I don't think he'll go anywhere.
we'll see.
I think Jaden Campbell was good. He continued.
Yeah, they tried hard.
It's Jaden Campbell. He's the thing.
Yeah.
They were good. They made 14 errors.
I actually thought Brimson was fairly good as well.
He was solid. I do like watching Brimson at fullback.
He's just so weird. He runs funny.
He's very James Tedesco, isn't he?
But I think he runs runs with his legs out wide when he runs. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Anyway, if he doesn't know where he's running, I suppose
Wider
nobody
base makes him more stable.
That's probably fair.
He must be an architect.
He's another one that's pretty powerful through the hips. Like there's a few of them like that.
Exactly.
Make it very hard to tackle them.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, look, the Titans made 14 errors, which is a little bit on the high side, but with especially how they
were just
started
driving
around
around
at the end of the game. It cost them, unfortunately. It's the last chance saloon next week for them to try and avoid the spoon.
This was the last chance saloon for the Finns if the Roosters lose.
Yeah, that's the thing. We'll get into that as we talk about the final round for the men and the last round for the women. The Dragons are going to be playing the Cowboys at Wynn Stadium. For the Dragons, Hannah Southwell is back at lock. She's a great player.
The Southwells are both very good.
So Trinity Tauniai is benched, and Olivia Ingram also joins the bench. A couple of weird ones there. For the Cowboys, big in Abigail Roche is back.
That's good.
Perfect timing to fill the void left by the injured Chikaya Whitfield, which is unfortunate. She'll be out for a little bit. Hopefully not forever.
I think she'll be back for the finals, perhaps.
Let's hope. And look, I think the big thing, the red zone struggles weren't lost on Ricky Henry. So Tallulah Tillett is out. Rosie Kelly is the new halfback.
Oh, okay.
We're starting to look like the Knights with the way we're interchanging halves, but I do think it'll be good for them.
I hope so.
I hope, anyway. I think...
So what happens? Does she just go into the 7?
Yeah, she's named out halfback, and Dib is still named
still
out halfback.
5'8". Okay.
Well, I don't think they'll functionally...
Yeah, I'm working around a bit, yeah.
I think the Cowboys are in for a bounce back here. The Dragons are struggling. All they need to do is somewhat contain Tegan Berry, and they'll end up winning this game.
Look, and I actually agree. I think the Cowboys will bounce back from that one, and that will cement them in the top 4.
Agrees with me.
Yeah.
Cowboys by 10. 26-16.
Yeah, well, we'll see, I suppose.
There we go. Men, lots of important games here. This is one of them. The Broncos play the Storm on Thursday night at Suncorp Stadium. Not Jamal, wrong Shibasaki. Hemajamaki is dropped.
Yep.
He's been dropped for Jesse Arthurs.
He got dropped because he was stupid.
Apparently.
Well, supposedly he showed up to training hungover.
Oh, that's not good.
But apparently they still whipped the hell out of him in training.
Bless you.
Too bad for you, pal. Throw up, I don't care.
So what happens is Jesse Arthurs moves in. I think that Dean Mariner pushes into the centres.
Each of team standards, but apparently drinking out of a toilet bowl is not breaching any standards whatsoever, apart from like common sense standards, I suppose.
So funny.
I've got news for you. It might be a new toilet, but all tradies test them out, big fella.
You idiot. He's changed his profile picture on Instagram to him with like a plumbing uniform on, which is hilarious. Play into the joke. I like it.
Look, I think, it's probably not hurting anyone per se, but
Funny.
Todd Carney got absolutely wrecked because he had an antic in the toilet that he didn't even post, that somebody else posted. Bruce Walls posted this himself. He's an idiot. He is an idiot. I just think it's funny because everybody's just jumped on Reese's Plumbing. Yankees Reese's Plumbing.
I think this is good. I like it.
No, well, I don't think it should be double standards, though. I mean, yes, I guess if you look at it for what it was, it's, I guess, kind of funny, but he did look a little bit, perhaps drunk at the time as well, which maybe later on he was filling it with something else. But
If you remember in the preseason, Kalen Ponga had the incident with the bathroom stall, which was very, very similar to this.
he was caught in possibly with drugs.
He got raked over the coals.
Yeah, and this guy does this actually, posts it on Instagram or whatever he posted it on TikTok. I don't care. It's all the same.
Don't worry.
And the whole world is laughing at him.
He's
laughing along with it.
I just think he's letting his ego get ahead of him.
The only other change for Brisbane, Zayden Hunt is benched for Piakura starts.
Fair enough.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, it doesn't really play us too much.
So, Melbourne.
Everyone's back.
Xavier Coates, Ellie Katoa, Nick Meaney, Josh King are all back from being rested. Jerome Hughes is back from his shoulder injury. Massive.
That's a biggie.
Tuikam Kamitha returns via the bench. Nelson Soap Solomona starts for Stefano Utuakamana, who's being rested this week. Lasati starts for Bloor, who apparently has a fractured larynx.
I tackle that got missed.
Probably. Who are they playing? Yeah, probably.
It was probably
Victor Radley.
Victor Radley. Yeah.
No, see, if it was Victor, he would have got caught. It must have been someone that no one gets that. Like Stewart Wong.
Yeah, that people like that.
I'm not going to let you implicate anything bad about the fight. Melbourne have won 14 of the past 15 games at Suncorp Stadium.
And I think like 7 of their last 8 against Brisbane.
Yeah, it's just
Brisbane are not winning.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry. There's less chance of Brisbane winning than it is of them losing.
Yeah. Brisbane, if they win, they're guaranteed the 4.
If they lose,
I think they're going to play this game wanting it more than Melbourne, but I don't think that's going to be enough. Melbourne are being a little bit too classy. I think Brisbane will be leading at halftime in this game.
Melbourne won't be scared of being in Brisbane, by the way, because there's a lot of Queensland supporters who actually don't mind the Melbourne Storm. So they're kind of Queensland, yeah. But yeah, I think Melbourne win, and I think they win fairly comfortably. And then the Warriors' chances are better by beating Manly or whatever. Yeah.
Here we go.
This game.
Yes.
The next day.
Friday.
Yeah.
Manly runs the Warriors. It's at Brookvale, which is good for Manly.
We have actually won there this year.
That's a good question. I
don't think it's a.
The away record is roughly the same.
I don't think their home ground is a fortress at home.
Double check, actually. I don't know what their home and away record is. Okay, Manly. Their home record is 7-4.
Yeah. So it's not bad. It's not bad, but it's not what you call a fortress.
True.
All the teams are actually better. Well, we don't have to look it up right now. We can look it up all the time.
This is probably the most important game of the round. Big implications for the top 8 and the top 4 as a whole. So I guess we'll see how this goes. For the Seagulls, big out. Tom Kohler is gone for seemingly the rest of the season with a knee injury. So Clayton Faulalo is back in the centres. He's good. And we get a debutante on earth, Joey Walsh, who seemed to be... he was going to be the heir apparent to Daly Cherry-Evans before the Fogarty signing. So he seems to be what they are hoping to be the young halfback. I guess we'll see how that goes.
You know what's big for the Warriors then is that Kohler in.
Yeah.
He has been so good for Manly. He's probably been just about their best player over the last month and a half.
I will say this. Faulalo got quite a run at the beginning of the year. I thought he was quite good.
Yeah,
he was on the wing, though, not the centre, so it's slightly different.
He's still not Kohler, though, and he doesn't have the speed of Kohler, which can scare every other team.
We'll see, I guess, that side is what Rocco Berry. See if they can expose him.
They might be able to.
That might be where they win this game. However, the Warriors lose Wade Egan again.
I feel so bad.
So Sam Healy is the hooker. That's the only change for them. Yeah. Manly have won their past 3 against the Warriors at Brookvale. Both teams need a win and a prayer to get the result they want. I think this game's going golden point. This is the easiest golden point game of the season for mine. It'd be fun if it were a draw because that'd be bad for everybody. But I think Manly just have the upper hand now that Wade Egan is out.
I wouldn't think that's so bad for the Warriors because they just jump back in front of the Broncos if their kicks are right for the game prior.
Through
With 2 games, yeah. So
but then they
wait for Cronulla. But even if Cronulla win, even if the Warriors win, the former guests will stuff them up, right? So it actually doesn't matter. A draw, as far as the Warriors go, a draw is as good as a win. Normally, a draw is not as good as a win.
I have news for you. Cronulla's scoring against is 70 points better than the Warriors.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not. I was actually agreeing with that. I think if it doesn't matter if the Warriors win, if Cronulla win. So a draw for the Warriors is as good as a win as far as they're concerned.
I guess that's fair.
Because it puts them ahead of Brisbane, and then
Yeah, okay, that's fair. It's bad. Okay, it's bad for Manly.
it's bad for Manly.
Draw is bad for Manly.
Yeah.
I think that Manly will win this game.
I hope you're wrong. I'm hoping the Warriors can somehow pull themselves off the canvas for one more effort to get into the top 4.
Be nice, I suppose.
I like the Warriors.
This is a 50-50.
Yeah. I just hope the refereeing is not controversial again.
I would not surprise me if that happens.
Well, it's the Warriors. So,
Now-
yeah.
Game of the year, in my opinion. The Roosters play the Bunnies at Allianz.
The only way it would probably be better is if Latrell Mitchell was fit.
Yeah. If he was in this game, oh man, it'd be amazing. Look, for one reason or another, whether it's because AJ beat Timberland's record, whether it's the Roosters
Fill up their top 8. Yeah.
guarantee their top 8 spot, whether it's the Rabbitohs possibly ruining the Roosters season, it's going to be exciting.
Can the Roosters actually jump Penrith?
Yes,
Okay.
if Penrith lose to the Dragons.
Which, okay, fair enough.
So
Yeah.
they need to win to guarantee their top 8 spot.
Yeah.
For the Roosters, Sam Walker's back. Huge. So Sandon Smith is out. Just normal there.
Yeah, that would be the case.
Cameron Murray is somehow playing.
Yes, I've heard.
I don't know how this has happened. It's a miracle.
This is a thing because it's a big game.
I have no idea why they risk it.
There's probably no point.
I don't think there is.
They're not making the argument.
You know, who are we to question Wayne Bennett? So he's
There are
playing.
people who question everything.
Okay. So he's playing off the bench. Which is
probably
his
fair.
first and only game of the year. Jack Whiten is also back. So
It's good in, I guess.
pushes Talis Duncan to the second row and Jacob Post is benched. Also, Brendan Smith is playing. I don't know how that's happened.
That's not.
It's garbage.
Yeah, he shouldn't be playing. Not with those allegations going against him. If he, other players have always had to be stood down while they were being investigated,
Yes,
and yet no.
we had that. Who did we have that? Like Luciano Leilua.
Yeah,
That happened to us.
yep. And he was ended up being what not guilty, and he missed half a season because of that.
I mean, it's the same thing that happened with Taylor May.
Yeah,
It's the exact same thing that happened
Yeah.
with Taylor May.
and so it's like, why has he got special consideration here?
I don't
I
know.
think it's bad.
It's
It's a bad look.
It's a bad look.
It's not necessarily Wayne Bennett's fault. He's just going to play the rules, right? If the NRL says that he's allowed to play,
Yeah, it's South and the NRL
yeah.
not stood him down.
Yeah.
So it's a bad look on both sides.
okay, yeah, that's fair. Because we know if he was up here, he would have been probably fired.
No doubt. Look, every bone in me wants to pick Souths to win this because it would be so funny.
Yeah.
But I don't think so. This will be a close game. I think the Roosters will win. I think there's going to be 3 sin bins. This game's going to go nuts. It always
I
does.
hope it doesn't affect a certain team in their own finals. Then. If they lose somebody who's in there,
Yeah, that's a big thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, Roosters.
Yeah, I think the Roosters win, and then it's see you later to the Manly side.
Yeah, and then the top 8 is sealed.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's that. The Dragons play Penrith.
My word, there is a massive bit of writing you've got for the Dragons and Penrith.
Yep.
2.5 lines.
The Penrith are continuing to rest Brian Toto and Liam Martin, but everybody else is back. So the people that hold on to their spots in the team are Paul Alamotti and captain last week, Eisenhuth.
Yeah, Albury was probably the best player last week in its was crappy.
They have split the last 4 at Wynn Stadium, but I don't think that applies here. Penrith will win. It will not be close.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything else that's going to happen here.
Yeah, no, the Riff win, unfortunately.
Keep it in 7.
Yeah, and I'll stay in 7. Great effort this year, Penrith.
Now, this is also going to be a fun game. The Titans play the Tigers at Seabus Super Stadium.
This will not be a fun game. The Tigers are going to win.
It's going to be fun. Double debutant alert for the Titans. So, their big off-season signing, Carter Gordon, gets his first start in the centres, and son of a gun, Cooper Bryant, gets his start off the pitch. They get their first taste of NRL action.
Gordon makes him Marcus By's kid.
He's Marcus By's son, yes.
Excited about Gordon. I think he's probably going to be good because
I hope he's good.
Marky Mark is obviously from rugby as well. Rugby controversy to do well.
I think it's slightly different because Mark was a winger. Carter Gordon, I think, is a fly half. And then they're playing him in the centres alongside AJ Brimson for some reason. Because
Kenny's back, obviously.
he's a fullback now. There was that very notorious stat I brought up earlier in this season where AJ Brimson plays in the centres. They have not won a game. So,
I don't think this is going to be any different.
Keaney is the fullback, Brimson's in the centres, partnering Carter Gordon, Philip Sanders on the wing, Jalen DeGroot and Tony Francis are dropped. For the Tigers, also debutant alert, there's a lot of those. Hemasi Makasini takes the concussed Jarrell Skelton's place on the wing.
That is good.
And Alex Seyfarth is back, so Charlie Murray drops off the bench. Makasini's in year 12 and has played 4 games of reserve grade. So either they're really desperate for outside backs, or this kid is something special.
Probably one of the young guys.
Right? Well,
He's still in school, yes.
Yeah.
Nuts.
he must have like great hair.
This is the last chance for the Titans to avoid the spoon. I'm tipping them because go Titans. Come on, please.
Don't have me on the nose to get
I really want the Knights to get the spoon. Look, the Gold Coast have won 3 of the past 4 at Seabus. And that includes what I still call the worst game of all time, the one they played in 2022.
It was like 8-6.
8-6, which they won because Luke Brooks dropped a ball off a kick that hit the post in the in goal, and AJ Brimson scored. It's the worst game ever. Go the Titans.
Yeah.
I think when by 4, this game is going to be trashed.
I think the Tigers win, but anyway, yeah.
It would be so funny. Please, Titans, please. You? Who are you doing? Yes. Good man. Now, maybe a good game.
This is also has a bearing on at least one position in the top 8.
Yes, this is true.
Yeah.
This is
The Sharks lose.
Yeah, so obviously Cronulla fans will be watching how Thursday night goes with Brisbane. If they lose, this is huge.
Yeah.
For the
Warriors.
So for the Dogs, Jacob Krause is out with an ankle injury, so now Tuala gets the nod for the wing spot. William Kikau is back, which is big for them. So Josh Curran is benched and Daniel Saluka Fafita drops out. I'm happy that Curran actually stays in the team.
Yeah.
For the Sharks, big in. Jesse Ramian is back.
Oh, nice.
I don't like it very much, but he's very solid there in the centres. That pushes Talakai out into the forward stuff.
Pushes Maywin Barotti out.
Oh, okay.
Talakai was in the forwards this week because Palliero was there.
Oh, right, okay.
Look, yeah, the Sharks know their chances at top 4 before this game. They split the last 4 at Accor. I don't know if I'd rather prefer to play Penrith or the Roosters right now, though. They might know who they want to play in finals. They might intentionally tank this game, the Sharks.
Okay.
Depending on who they think they match up best.
Okay. So let's say Brisbane lose, which is the most likely of the
If Brisbane lose, they will play full strength in this. If Brisbane win, I don't know what they're going to do.
Although, yeah, well, that's true. But if Brisbane lose and the Wars win, they'll also have to play full strength.
Yes, that's true.
So, or even if the Wars draw, like we said.
There's so many weird permutations.
Yeah.
Right. I think the Dogs will probably win this game.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think anyway. It'd be funny. Is Cronulla a bad?
Well,
Good for them.
I think the Dogs, they can finally work out something's going on with Galvin, that they'll actually win.
Yeah, this is the last chance, right?
The whole final, they need to work it out. Yep.
Yeah. Here we go.
Bring that 6 tonight.
I think the Dogs win by 6.
I'm actually going to take the Sharks.
You said the Sharks.
Well, you're a
The
doofus.
Bulls are on decline, right?
Good. Cronulla haven't been amazing.
They just something.
Yes, but they beat the Knights.
They were also down 10-0 to Newcastle.
Yeah.
I still think they
I think the Bulldogs win.
And now, this game only matters pending Friday night. So if the Roosters somehow lose, the Finns play the Raiders at KO Stadium.
They need to flog them.
They lose Connolly Lemuelu. But Kulikepa Finfuiaki is back.
That's a nice flog, I suppose.
Herbie Farnworth is named in the reserves. I imagine he will only come in if they have a shot at finals.
Yes.
If not, they'll put him on ice.
Yeah, I think so.
With the JJ Gilman Shield locked up, Canberra rests a pretty good contingent of their stars. So Chevy Stewart is the fullback. Adam Cook and Ethan Sanders are the halves. And triple debutants alert. Insane. Utaloa Asamoah, Manaya Fatade, and Joe Roddy. So 2 Polynesians, and I assume what is a very white man, will be playing their first games under Captain Corey Horsburgh.
They themselves smacked to the Canberra Raiders being bad.
No, how dare you!
He's a good sport leader. I don't know, he's a good team leader.
The result of this game, in my opinion, completely depends on whether the Titans or whether the Dolphins have a shot at finals or not.
Yeah, look, if the Roosters lose by 10 or more,
Yeah, what's
they're going to really throw. I think it's 20-something is the turnaround.
the Roosters scoring against is 102. The Dolphins scoring against is 87. So they're 15 behind.
So that's not very much.
That's not a lot.
So all they need is the Roosters to lose by 8 and them to win by 8, and they're in finals.
Yeah.
That could be interesting.
Funnily enough, I've tipped them by 8 under the assumption that they have a shot at finals. If they don't, I don't even think they win.
Well, they may
They may just throw in the towel and the Raiders will win.
or in a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know. I've tipped the Dolphins preemptively. I guess we'll see. This could be a good game. I'm happy it's at KO Stadium and not Suncorp.
Yes. They should be playing more of their games at home. I hope so. Actual home.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's like how the Tigers have to split all their home games between Campbelltown and Leichhardt. It's like they're always better at Leichhardt. The Dolphins, I feel like, are always better at KO.
And that's why they should be playing there.
Agreed.
Suncorp is the Broncos' home ground.
It's not like the NRL loses money.
No.
It's bringing in like record profits year over year. Surely you can afford to lose a bit of money to have more games at regional grounds like that.
Let's face it. You have that magic round that breaks in crap loads of them.
Exactly.
So there's no real need.
Okay, so based on how I've tipped these, the top 8 order is the same.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that nobody's winning anything, the top 8 order stays the same.
Yeah, my only one that may differ is I think the Wars could possibly sneak in.
So if the Warriors win that moves them into 4th.
If the Broncos lose.
If the Broncos lose.
Which is what you've tipped.
This is true.
And I picked the Broncos to lose. I've tipped the Warriors to probably win, though that's a hard one. And I've tipped the Bulldogs to beat Cronulla. So with my tipping, it puts the Warriors back in 4th, Brisbane to 5th, Cronulla to 6th, and I go from there.
Okay.
Which could be an interesting bottom 4.
Yeah.
Because you've got 2 of the grand finals from 2 years ago in the bottom 4 of the top 8.
Yeah, crazy. Yeah, I'm terrified for whoever has to play either Penrith or the Roosters in the first round of the finals. I think whoever it is, they're going to lose.
Yeah, well, that's it. And so...
At least we don't have to talk about the Cowboys anymore.
No, that ship has sailed.
What a season. What a season it's been. I hope the finals does, because last year was also a great season, and then the finals was kind of... So hopefully the final series this year can be like bring some of that chaotic.
I can understand why finals are sometimes a little bit less a little underwhelming because they've been playing for 27 rounds. They're probably tired.
No, but not even like in terms of like poor quality of football. I mean in terms of like results.
Yeah.
That just didn't happen last night. We ended up with Melbourne and Penrith in the grand final. Nobody liked that. We end up with Canberra in the grand final. It would be infinitely better than anything from the past 5 years.
Yes, it would be nice. So I would like that, and that's why I would like the Wars to sneak into 4th.
Better for them, eh?
Yeah, but they get at least one game in New Zealand.
Yes,
that's the case.
That would be the big finals game in Pro Media will be awesome.
They would go mental down there.
Yes.
So good luck all the teams. I think you can say I don't have to say those who are playing.
Unless you're a buy, I suppose.
Unless you're the buy. The buy can go bite me.
Well, we will see. We will see you in the finals.
Indeed. Have a great day.
Goodbye.